Vegeta. Murder, violence every day to please Lord Frieza. The future he sees, Saiyans are history. Bardock, woo. Every day they're out there making planets blow up.
God. Alright guys, so I'm going to need to explain a few things. A few days ago, I got surgery on my right hand and had to stay overnight in the hospital. So, weeaboo that I am, I figured I'd marathon all of the Dragon Ball specials on my laptop to help take my mind off a few things. Starting chronologically, of course, with Bardock, the father of Goku. Chronologically, at least when it comes to the, time, you get it. And no, not that one, that doesn't exist. The only problem is, whatever happy juice they had put into my IV drip was obviously fucking with my ability to perceive. And I pretty much zoned out as soon as the thing started, only to zone back in when I saw the end credits leading me to say, fuck, I wasn't paying attention to that at all. So I laughed it off and I hit the replay button, because I actually wanted to watch the damn thing, only to again zone out moments later. This cycle continued for several hours. As a result, Bardock seems to have seeped into my subconscious, the father of Goku now burnt into my retinas. When I sleep, I dream only of Bardock. When I eat, it tastes of Bardock. I look into my girlfriend's loving eyes and see only Bardock gazing back. I fear I have become one with this Bardock special on a biological level. There is only Bardock. It has always been Bardock. Just Bardock. So, doped up on painkillers and down one arm, I decided to write an episode on just Bardock. Specifically the differences between Bardock, father of Goku, and Toriyama's now infamous one-shot manga, Dragon Ball Minus. Not because I want to, but because I'm genuinely frightened of what might happen if I don't only do a video on about Bardock. Anyway, I'm Totally Mutant Ninja Turtle, and this is insert episode title. Oh fuck, I forgot to change the fucking script. Number 5. Okay guys, so I think I've come up with a backstory for the hero of this comic I'm working on. Hear me out. Basically, you got this baby, right? And he's no ordinary baby. He's an alien baby from a race of humanoids that look identical to us, except they're much more powerful. Anyways, just before his home planet is destroyed, his parents sit him in a spaceship and send him to planet Earth while they stay behind and perish with the rest of their world. Once the boy arrives on Earth, he's taken in and raised with compassion as an Earthling. That boy goes on to use his powers for truth, justice, and the American— Oh, what's that? You thought I was talking about Goku? No, I was talking about the backstory to DC's Superman. As if there weren't enough similarities between Goku and Superman Dragon Ball fans argue over. Dragon Ball Minus pretty much just goes ahead and Control-C, Control-V's Superman's origin verbatim. The notion, however, that Toriyama liked to take inspiration from other facets of pop culture is well known. Frieza's third form is a clear homage to Ridley Scott's horror masterpiece Alien. And who could ignore a few obvious similarities the story of Trunks has with the Terminator franchise? However, and let me say I am no lawyer, doctor, professor, scientist, but this Dragon Ball Minus rewrite of Goku's backstory is what I would consider near plagiaristic levels of reference. But, and I need to draw attention to this, the fact that it is so similar to the story of Superman is not why I don't like this change to the series. I think its addition serves to make the story less special. Allow me to explain. In the anime's original telling of the story, although not penned by Toriyama, Goku's story still had a flair of dramatic irony to it. In that, Goku was sent to Earth for the purpose of destroying it, originally being born into a race of brutal mercenaries known as Saiyans, once depicted as people responsible for billions of deaths. But because of Grandpa Gohan's kindness and a bump to the head, Goku instead overcomes his instincts and becomes the champion and protector of the people he was quite literally born to kill. It's a beautiful story. And then there's Minus. And yeah, a lot has changed with its addition. I mean, obviously there's the whole Goku Superman thing. I feel like I don't need to explain that any further. So instead, let's take a look at some of the finer details and what their reflection looks like on the greater story. This here is a perfect example. Oh, what's that? Don't look at the moon? Good shout there, Bardock. You wouldn't want your Saiyan son to go all Uzaru on another planet and accidentally murder all of its inhabitants, now would you? What a horrible thing that would be. I mean, it's not like you've just literally returned from committing mass genocide as part of your fucking day job. Good on you to take the moral high ground on this one. You're a goddamn Saiyan, man. Destruction on a planetary scale is sort of your whole bit. Why the sudden concern for Earth, or Goku for that matter? In Dragon Ball Minus, the Saiyans, or at the very least Bardock, is painted as almost kind and thoughtful, perhaps even sympathetic. The reason I enjoyed Bardock, the father of Goku, is because of its dark, gritty depiction of the Saiyan race. We've been told time and time again how ruthless the Saiyans were while working under Frieza, but this is the first time we actually get to see it. The Saiyans are not good guys. In fact, they kinda deserve what happens to them. It's not like they've been known to hesitate at the thought of blowing up another planet, and it's that moral grayness and ambiguity that makes the story of Bardock so tragically compelling. This is not a story of good versus evil like Dragon Ball Z. This is a story of bad versus worse. Look, I've been a fan of Dragon Ball Z pretty much my whole life, and so when I hear the word Saiyan, often the first thing I think of is Goku. And when I think of Goku, it's easy to just remember the fun, wacky shenanigans of Dragon Ball or the countless times he's served as a paragon of innocence and the hope for planet Earth. But Goku is very much the exception. Due to highly unlikely circumstances, he became a very unique case. The Saiyans were scumbags, and I'm including Goku's biological family in that summation. They're supposed to care about nothing but violence and power. By making Bardock more thoughtful, more compassionate, it only serves to lessen the significance and rare occurrence that was Goku's pure heart. He's not one in a million, he's one in an entire species. And that was why I thought his story was worth telling. However, now that Dragon Ball Minus has taken its place as the definitive origin of Goku, it almost now seems like Raditz is the black sheep of the family. And that's a weird thought. But perhaps the biggest problem I have with Minus, ignoring its unoriginal story and how it serves to, in my view, devalue Goku as a character, is that it's just so fucking boring. There's an old question writers ask themselves before telling a story, which goes something like, is this the most interesting point in your character's life? And if not, why aren't we hearing about that instead? And you better fucking believe that Bardock, father of Goku, is the most interesting point in Bardock's life. He and his people are betrayed by the man they've spent their entire lives serving because he fears the Saiyans' power. Having been impregnated with the ability to see the future, Bardock has to avenge his friends and single-handedly confront this evil dictator, the most powerful creature in the known universe, in an epic last stand for the fate of his entire race. And yeah, I know this is Dragon Ball and we've all become desensitized to these great epic battles and speeches, but for a moment, just this once, try to, as best you can, imagine that. Approaching someone you may have only seen from a great distance speaking before the highest authority in your culture. Or perhaps you've only heard of him in rumor. This someone has been a cancer spreading across the known universe for as long as you can remember. A creature that injects fear into the hearts of every last individual you know personally, and even those you haven't met yet. The individuals you fear with every fiber of your being are subservient and petrified by this monstrous, ruthless collector of worlds. A beast who, if he suddenly decides it, can remove you and everyone who knows about you from existence before you could even process a thought. That is who Frieza is to Bardock. On the flip side, here in Dragon Ball Minus, Bardock is motivated by a gut feeling. He decides to just rocket his son off to some random planet with zero protest from his wife, by the way, over a gut feeling. What the fuck is this? That's like my parents shipping me off to Bosnia when I was 3 because my dad was getting dodgy vibes off Bertie Ahern. There are actually people in Ireland who probably don't even know who Bertie Ahern is now, so that's one obscure joke. Good luck, America. So yeah, jokes aside, Raditz, who, let's face it, pretty much shows up to die, was given a motivation and backstory for why he did what he did, and why he was there looking for Kakarot. But in Minus, there's no conflict. There's not even a story arc, it's just sort of a thing that happens. I mean, Jesus, the writing here makes episode of Bardock look good. I mean, it looks okay. That actually hurt. Now, don't get me wrong, none of this is to say Father of Goku is without its issues. Bardock receiving visions of the future is pretty asinine. What's weird is that it's not even really plot significant. He doesn't discover Frieza's plan to kill the Saiyans through visions of the future, his dying friends tell him after getting attacked by Frieza's men. And like, just before Frieza's men tried to kill him. So there's more than enough evidence to support your uprising, but not enough evidence to convince other Saiyans, which puts you in the exact same position, say, some contrived psychic powers might put you in. So in reality, psychic powers make for some cool visuals and a neat little bittersweet ending for Bardock and the Saiyans, but as a part of the story, it's entirely unnecessary. I also don't like how nonchalant Vegeta is about the Armageddon of his planet. I mean, Vegeta is nothing if not passionate. Seems a little off for him to just shrug something like that off. So, while Dragon Ball Minus does have its pros, like how Bardock doesn't get psychic powers, and we get to meet Goku's mom and, oh look, baby Raditz. At the end of the day, I think it's a downgrade. It retroactively makes Goku's character arc less significant, but more importantly, it's just damn boring. Minus really is a fitting name because, in my view, it really only serves to subtract from what was told in Bardock, the father of Goku. And yeah, that movie isn't perfect, but you know what? It's damn entertaining. It's got conflict and action and, oh look, nice move, Bardock. Maybe you should have taught that trick to Raditz. Overall, it's a much more compelling rendition of Bardock as a character, I think. I like that he's just another Saiyan, I like that he's a dick, and I like that he's the only protagonist in anime history whose face scar doesn't have a backstory. I like that, wait, did this used to have, was this a list-based video? I'm pretty sure I vaguely remember saying something with a number at some point about something, I think? Ugh, these painkillers must be messing with my head. I guess I kind of let the framework for this episode get away from me. Anyways, Dragon Ball Minus is bullshit and I think I'm addicted to opium now. So that'll be fun to deal with. Oh well. In any case, I've been Tentacle, not Mark. Thanks so much for... I think I need to lie down. Hey guys, my good friend Tom helped me write most of this video. He's a funny guy and loves video games, so if that sounds interesting to you, I highly recommend checking out his channel. I wouldn't suggest him unless I thought it was great, so show him some love. Anyways, see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching.